Okay. 1 second, you guys. Oh, there I am. Scared me. Let's make sure we're on. Don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I'm going to turn you up over here too. I'm not live on Facebook yet. There's a bit of a delay. Okay. See if we're live. We should be live. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's check. Make sure I'm live. There we are. Scared me. Okay. I'm going to wave at you guys. Make sure we're live. Make sure we're live. I got to wave at you guys. Live on Facebook yet. Let me make sure. There's a bit of a delay. Let me wave at you guys. See if we're live. We should be live. Let me double check. Okay. All right, let's check. Make sure I'm live. There we are. Okay. Okay. Guys, make sure we're live. All right, let me get set up on TikTok and we'll get going here. Welcome, everybody. Yesterday was an adventure. Let's get going on TikTok, okay? 5 drafts. Okay, I get my drafts on TikTok. Let's get going here and all right, Cookie House build. Here we go. Okay. Cookie House build. Let me do this. How's everybody doing today? Boy, I'm tired. You think because I took Sunday night off, or Sunday off, I'd be awake, but I'm not. I get my live goal going here. You've lost that cookie feeling. I've been having really bad nightmares, and let's put a bunch out here. You know, we're going to do something different with this goal. Let's put something cheap for a change. I'm not going to do any high bears or anything like that. But let's go ahead and I'm not going to do the noises and stuff like I do on TikTok normally. I want to put like 40 high bears up there just for this, just for the sake of putting them out there. Let's just see what happens today. Okay. Well, I'm ready to go live with TikTok, so here we go. So we got a lot done yesterday. I'm still debating. I don't know if we're going to finish it all today. You know, probably have one more day on this thing is what I'm thinking. I'm trying not to knock this over because yesterday it kept falling over and it drove me nuts. For some reason, Restream, who I broadcast you guys over here, that's Book of Face and Tube of You. That's how I have to say it for TikTok. Put me on 2 different channels, like I was guesting on this show yesterday. That really messed the iPhone up. The iPhone was really having none of it. In fact, when I went to shut down yesterday, the iPhone was frozen. And iPhones don't freeze, okay? That's one thing with iPhones. They do not freeze up unless something horrible happens. And I think it overheated. Hi, Pamela. I think it overheated yesterday. And yeah, we had problems yesterday. Hopefully today is a better day. All right, let me get TikTok started, and we will show you where we're at with this. And I think we're doing really good. Okay. Now, if worst comes to worst, so say I get done early before 4:15, and we have time, we might start Cousin Eddie's RV cookie. Okay, we might start that because that's what's next on the list is Cousin Eddie's RV cookie. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna start over here. Away we go. All right. Let me get this started over here. TikTok. All right, everybody. Wait for TikTok to kick in, and I'll show you what we got. So, as I feared yesterday, when I went to put on that side section of the back of the house, it fell. It collapsed. And, 13 of you. Awesome. It did collapse yesterday. But luckily, before I did my night show on TikTok, I was able to grab, the Pillsbury and fix it. And so it's up. So what we're doing is we're putting on the side, the other two. Well, we're going to try from the other 2 sides. The concern I have on the front side is that I put on, what is it? The twinkly lights on there. Erica, don't troll me, okay? I will send you packing. Get out of here, behave yourself before I send you packing, okay? I'm not in the mood for trolls. I am not in the mood for any kind of trolls. All right, guys, welcome. There's no one coming up on TikTok. Nobody likes me on TikTok today. Anyway, so I'll show you what we have done. And so it's easier just to go right now, Erica, okay? Because I'm not going to put up that crap. So as you can see, this side's up. Looks kind of cool to have it up, huh? Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back. We're continuing. Hi, Sherry Watts. Welcome back, everybody. No readings until tonight, 6:45. So double tap that screen, TikTok. Let's get some likes in. Hey, no filter. What the heck? Hang on. I ain't got no filter on. Give me a second, you guys. TikTok, what are you doing to me? Hang on, let me get my filter on here. Yikes. I need my filter. I'm not going to do this. We're not doing this without the filter. Where's my enhance? Hang on. Here we go. Whoa, there's no filter on. Effects. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Okay, there's my filter on. There we go. Okay, we're back. Dang! That was the real me for a few minutes. Yikes. Okay. That's better. See, you guys over here get the real me. TikTok gets the other me. Okay, anyway. So what's going on is you see this on here already. We got the door. I don't know if you can see that TikTok. There it is. We got the door on there. I'm going to lift it up, but I'm afraid I don't want to snap it or anything. See, we got that on there. See how it looks kind of cool with that? So we're going to try and I'm going to put the back wall on it is what I'm going to do. It's up there pretty good. I think what I neglected to do yesterday when I did this was to put the frosting on the bottom, like right here, along the bottom here, on this one to make it stand up. I did not do that. So I think that's what caused it to collapse. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead because this is going to be a touchy thing over here. Because back in here, we do have, and as my dad said, don't attack it, and I attacked it. I should have left this bare right here. This should have been bare. Because I have the issue of the twinkly lights right here. Okay. The twinkly lights go right there. Gluing it against the or using the frosting against the twinkly lights is a problem because it's an uneven surface. So that's why I had the issues I had. It's going okay. It's going okay. I'm tired. I've had nightmares the last 2 nights. So it hasn't been a real good sleeping time, but I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. Okay, so what I plan to do is we're going to try and get around that by mounting the end cap on the house right here. We'll get that mounted. And then it should be easier to connect this wall over here with this little tiny wall thing. Because I can attach the little tiny wall thing with the wall itself. You see what I'm saying? Where it's going to be an easier connection. Because I can just drop it down in between. Okay. Good to see everybody. Like the live, everybody. And I'm also collecting, are you ready for this? 40 high bears. If you guys can help me with my high bear collection, I might just do the high bear song just for you guys. Might do the high bear song. So let's put this back wall on, and then what we're going to do is we got to work on the gray because we want to do at least one more coat of gray on this because it's not quite as dark as the rest of the house. So let's do that coat of gray first. We'll do the coat of gray on there, and then that should do it. And then we have to add the thousands of twinkly lights on that gray. Okay. So, let me find it. It's in one of these things. Is that you? That's you. Okay. I did seal it up this time. So we're going to add 1,000 twinkly. Because we're going to have, once it dries, we have to add the thousands and thousands of twinkly lights. All right. I saw something the other day, and I don't remember what it was. I can't remember where I saw it. And it was a statue of Clark Griswold with Christmas lights wrapped all around him, which I think is hilarious. Which I thought was funny. If I was going to buy a statue of Clark Griswold, that's what I would get. So let me do this real fast, and then we'll go ahead and we'll let this one dry, and then we're going to go ahead and add the twinkly lights later on once it dries. Okay? And then we're going to work on putting those walls up. try and get that wall up. You know, I agree with Judy yesterday. It's better to put the wall up and then let it sit overnight, you know, to let it dry, instead of pushing your luck with it. I've never done a gingerbread house that had multiple things like this. You know, like had additional connected rooms to it like this. So this is a new one for me. But I haven't been sleeping, and I'm exhausted, and you know, that's what hurt. Despite taking Sunday night off from doing all this stuff, I'm still exhausted. Okay, I'm gonna put this under here for storage for now, because the edge has to be done too. I've got 2 edges on this, so I'm gonna get my fingers all like connected to the edges and dirty. I think that'll have to do it. I don't have any more of that gray left, so I think we're gonna have to make do with the color. But you know, we can cover part of it in snow, so the snow covers it. So I mean, it's not like it's a big deal. So we can cover that, you know, that part of it in snow. Anything that's showing up that doesn't look really good, we can snow that in. This has been a fun one. I mean, once I figured out how to do the stuff that they wanted me to do, you know, and all that, it turned into a fun build. Okay, let's just put that down there. Let that dry. Okay. All right, now let's get back to construction. So, like I said, the plan going forward with this is we're going to use this stuff because, like I said, the yellow got crumbly and it snapped yesterday, and I kind of figured we would get to that point. So we're going to use this stuff, and we're going to put that back wall on. I have concerns for the rest of this. I'm glad we're not putting anything else on that main house. I'm really glad. As it is, I've got like yellow paint that's got to go in here in this one spot on the front. So I have 2 options on this, and the only option I can think of to try and make it so that I can get that extra little part on the other side of this connected together is to just put the back wall on, is to just put this back part of the house on, you know, the back eave, and I'll show you what we're dealing with. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this little piece here. Okay, this little piece has to fit against this part of the house on this side. And again, the problem we have is the twinkly lights, because I put the twinkly lights on and never bothered to pay attention to the fact that it looked bare in the instructions, okay? Which presents a problem because the twinkly lights are little bumps that it has to sit against to connect to the house. You see what I'm saying? And then we got this connects to that piece right there as the add-on to the garage. So the only logical way I can see doing this is we're going to take this piece right here. See that piece right there? I'm going to go ahead and install that today. So now, once this is installed, we'll be able to install the 2-piece. And then I can install that other piece and drop it in. This is how I see it going down. But Murphy's Law always, you guys know about Murphy's Law, right? I mean, no matter how I do this or how I think it's going to work, Murphy's Law is going to kick in and make it harder for me. Because that's just the way Murphy's Law is. Hi, Marisa. You know, because Murphy's Law is always going to kick in. Oh, you want to see the house so far, Marisa? I'll show you the house. Murphy's Law is always going to kick in and make it 10 times harder for me than it actually should be. Let me show Marisa the house. Here's our updates. Look at that. Clark W. Griswold. The vacation house. All right, so let's go ahead and put that on. And do I want to use that yellow? I would love to use the yellow because I think it holds better. I really do. Even though, I'll show you something. See how it popped right off? So it's holding, but it's a scary hold. But we can use it for the ends, so I'm going to put it on the ends. We can use it for like attaching it at the end here. And then I can use the white down here to make sure it sets in right on there. So we'll do that. Where did I put it? I just had my hand. There it is. So let me do it for the end there. Oops, we got some yellow one here. That's not good. Well, that's good, but not good. Christmas time is here. Christmas vacation. And the roof held where I repaired it the other day. It's not quite even, but it held. So we're just going to quote while we're ahead on that little project. Okay, this is going to squeeze out everywhere because that's what I did yesterday. We hope it squeezes out because I need some. There, just right there. And again, this is gummy, which is why it's acting like it is, where it's hardening and just breaking off. So we're going to go ahead and either way, we're going to have an exposed end. So we're going to go ahead, and here's before I do this, let's figure out how far out this has to be. Do I put it on all the way on the end, or do I put this on the inside? You know what I mean? So are we going to go here with it? Or as your optometrist would say, is it better here or better here? So this is what I got to figure out. Because if I take it to here, this is going to be too far out. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to go there. Otherwise, it's going to be too far out. So, okay. So we're going to take this. We're going to put this stuff on there. And don't get me wrong, this stuff is great. If it does take and it stays, this stuff is marvelous. But again, it's old. It is old, and it's just a pain in the butt to use because it's crumbly. However, it will help us with the construction that we have to do with this. In the meantime, we don't want it on the bottom, even though it would be nice. But figure this. If I run the white along the bottom, think of it this way. It snowed. It snowed in Chicago. There's snow in Chicago, you guys. So we can put the white on the bottom and I'll worry about it because we can call it snow and call it even. You know, because it is snowy in Chicago. So that's how we can look at this. See how crumbly this is coming off of there because it dried? Okay. So let me put this in here. Then we're going to get the Pillsbury and let the Pillsbury do its job to mount it because the Pillsbury is our baby. So let me get a big brush. We'll get the Pillsbury. I think I've had 2 of those. I only ate part of one. So I'm batting 1,000. So we're going to Pillsbury this. Globby, we don't care. Like I said, remember, it's Chicago, middle of winter. Won't be snow. So we can glob it all we want on there. Make sure it all sticks together. Then we can landscape. You know what? I'm willing to buy more frosting for you guys so we can landscape the side yard and all that, okay? We can landscape with snow. I have no problem with that. I just want this thing to mount right. So the globbier, the better. Trust me. But yeah, I hope I catch up on my sleep because the nightmares have been horrendous. I don't think it's because I watched those shows the other day. You know, it's been weird because I wanted to become a Disney content creator, be down there. Can't afford to live down in LA, you know. So, but what it has to do with is Universal Studios. So I'm having these dreams about Universal Studios is what I'm having dreams about. And they're not very good dreams. But I'm having these dreams about Universal Studios. See, Great Lakes stays. Yeah, see? So that's why I'm putting this up like this, right? And mounting it. It's fine because Chicago, you know, Chicago is going to snow. It's just Great Lakes states, Ohio, Chicago, you know, the Arctic crush, right? So now we're going to have this thing mounted. Okay, so here's what the end of the house looks like. I'll probably put like something against here, but see, we're going to mount this. See it now? Now we have an end of the house right there. We're not putting the roof on today. That's a given. I'll tell you guys that right now because we want this to set. Okay, I'm looking at one more day because once we get the roof on, we'll be able to put those other cool Christmas lights on around it, and that's going to end the house. We can landscape. But that's why I was thinking if I get far enough on this right now, I'm not going to leave you guys until like 4:15 to go make my dinner. So we could probably start we can start Cousin Eddie's trailer. And what we got here to start Cousin Eddie's trailer is this. I'll show you. We don't exactly I have a Lego kind of version of Cousin Eddie's trailer coming. But in the meantime, for us, for what we're doing here, as we sit here and do this, I found this. See it? So we can make this, we can turn this into something, something special for Cousin Eddie. I had some friends years ago who, I keep hearing movement in there, that can't be good, who used to do, and I'm not going to say this because it's horrible to say, okay? All right? But they used to do trailer trash gingerbread houses. My friends did. And they were the cutest thing. Multiple cars in the driveway. But I don't want to say it's that, okay? It's Cousin Eddie. We'll just say it's Cousin Eddie. All right? We're not going to call it any other name but Cousin Eddie. So we can build Cousin Eddie today. We can put this off to the side and build Cousin Eddie. See, just sitting here watching this, I'm tempted. I think I can put this other wall on. I feel lucky. You guys feel lucky? Hopefully that other piece will dry and we can put the 1,000 twinkly lights on it. That piece of roof. I can put the twinkly lights on that little square roof. I think we might get to do some Cousin Eddie work today. So I'm going to go ahead and do the unthinkable. I'm going to try and mount this, okay, this piece for the front. Then I'll turn the front around. You guys can see it. I'll show you what it looks like now. This is what we're facing. Okay, let me turn this around. We should be able to get this mounted. There's the edge of the house. That's the garage. Yeah, Clark had a garage. Okay, so here's what the front of the house looks like. Is that cool or what? See, Marisa, is that cool? Christmas vacation. How cool is that, huh? And what was it? Little House on the Prairie? Were they stealing ideas from Christmas Vacation? Or was it an original idea with them first? Because if you look at the last of the Christmas one they did, but God bless the child, the beast and the children, whatever it was. It wasn't Nellie, it was the other one, the new daughter of the Olsens. Right? It was Nellie Olsen, you had Billy, and then you had the other one, I can't remember her name. Her task was to go out and cut down a Christmas tree and bring it to the house for her Christmas. And so she goes out, and what does she do? She's lazy. She doesn't want to cut it. She tries to get one from the little kids. They bring a small one. She goes out. She finds this tree that's like across from the house, and it's big, and she cuts it. And they're all sitting there getting ready to put the ornaments on. Nancy Olsen, yeah. And she cuts this tree, and it crashes into the house. It crashes through the main window of the house, crashes through, and it's a big mess. And they're yelling at her and stuff because of it. Now, Vacation, if you remember when Clark's tree got burned up, what does he do? He goes out front. He finds this tree in his front yard, and then he turns around. He cuts it down, and it's like this huge tree that he's trying to fit. He's trying to get in the front yard. I think it goes to the neighbor's house. So I don't know. Maybe they were copying each other because movies and TV will do that, but they were doing that kind of stuff. So. Well, the first tree Clark bought was too big too, right? Only it had the squirrel in it. Okay, so let's try it. We're going to put this thing on over here, this part, and hope to God we don't knock anything over. And again, it's snowing in Chicago. It snows in Chicago. We know this. And Pamela, for what it's worth, let me show you the roof. See? We have snow in Chicago. And the reason why the snow is like that is because the lights are on there. So the lights are going to melt the snow that's on top of the house. See? That's the whole premise of that. So, okay. You live on the Great Lakes, my friend. You know the Great Lakes. You live on the Great Lakes. I've never been to Cleveland in the winter. My father grew up there. So I have the stories of Cleveland in the winter. So I can tell you, if it snows in Cleveland, it's going to snow in Chicago. That much I can tell you. Lake Erie, all that stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to do this again. This is too dry. This one will not work. So I'm gonna have to cut this one more time because I gotta get to that. See all the stuff in the middle? I gotta get the stuff in the middle. That's what I need. So we're gonna cut it one more time. Hi Megs, how you doing? Megs just went live. Sorry, we don't have the people going live. Flash messages on my phones. So I'll try to get to some of the good stuff here because that's what we need is this good. There it is right there. Yeah, I want you. Okay, see if I can do with a toothpick to get in there. Because we want the soft stuff for the side. Okay. Then I gotta decide which one's gonna lay better. And again, we're gonna go on the inside. Like right there. We want to make sure that we get a good connection. Did that slip out? No, it hasn't yet. It's looking like it's gonna slip out. Oh, either way the connection's gonna be bad. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. That's flatter for sitting on the ground. So let me do this. And we're not going to push our luck. We're not putting the roof on here or nothing today. We're not pushing our luck with this. Because again, we have a Christmas house sitting over that we still have to finish where the roof, everything caved in. All the walls caved in because of this very problem. Because this stuff was too old. And I did it anyway. Because that's how I ride. All right, let's get some of this. Where's my little brush? Where'd the brush go? Christmas vacation. Okay. All right, here we go. A lot of snow back east, you guys. It's starting to snow really, really heavy back east now. We're getting we're getting a lot in Tahoe now. The stuff up in our mountains is starting up too. You know it's bad when they close the road to Mount Lassen. You can't get up there. The road is now closed because there's just no way to get up there. Make sure this is pretty straight. Don't think we'll get the sidewall in. We might. You know, that area that has to go in, but I don't think so. I don't think so. And man, thank God I get paper towels in bulk. All I do is use paper towels on this project. It's all about the paper towels. Okay, here we go. Let me get this in. Let me make sure we're against here where we're supposed. Yeah, that looks good. So we're there with it. Now, this is how I figured it was going to go. So what will also happen is that I'll have to put a bracer against that wall. Now, theoretically, and I'm saying theoretically, this piece should fit right in here. And unfortunately, nope, it's fine. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go for it. The question is, do we feel lucky? I'm going to go for it, even though that edge should be yellow. I think I'm going to go for it. Because this is how I was planning it would go. See how that edge that had that opening? This is what I wanted to do, was get it set up so that opening would you'd be able to fill that opening, which is what I just did. So you know what? We're going to go for it. I'm going to attach it. I feel lucky. I feel real lucky. So we're going to attach that. And then we're going to have to leave it alone. Don't touch. Never touch it until it's dry. So I'm going to go for it and get that attached. And I'll try attach the side of the house. I'm thinking, because it is so rocky on the side of the house, so plus I used the yellow on the side of the house there, I'm going to use the white because we can always get some yellow paint and paint over the white, you know, because I want to make sure it connects. So let's do this. Well, that's really cool. Okay, so that worked out. But this is going to have to dry. So let's get some yellow. We'll attach the side there. We'll put the snowy thing on and all that, and that should do it for us for right now. And then we'll start Cousin Eddie today. In fact, this is almost dry down there. We can put the twinkly lights on there. We'll put the 1,000 twinkly lights, the rest of the 1,000 twinkly lights on there, and then we'll open up. We'll crack open Cousin Eddie. How's that sound? Okay, so we're going this way with it, right? Make sure I'm going the right way. That would really be bad. Mounting it the wrong way would be really bad. Okay, how did I do it that way? Okay. Mounting it the wrong way would really be bad. So I think once we get the twinkly lights on that part over there, we'll go ahead and we'll set up, we'll start working with Cousin Eddie. We'll start, because I have to buy some more white frosting anyway, so we can start white frosting, because he had a white Winnebago that had rust on it. So what we can do is we can start frosting that, and then we'll make some rust color. I'll pop out and get some more food coloring, and we'll get the rust color in there because it was rusted. See how this doesn't want to go on? This is the problem with this. I have to put it on by hand, clump it up, mix it in, clump it up, make it fit, which is why you need the other stuff to back it up. Okay. Glad I have a lot of toothpicks too. I use toothpicks for pumpkins and Halloween, so I mean I've got toothpicks coming up my ears. But I knew there would be a collapse. Now there won't be any collapse on this. I already know there won't be a collapse because I've done this kind of thing before to reinforce like that. There we go. Let's do it on the end here because there's hardly anything over right here. Need to add to that end. Okay, so let's get down. Get my little paintbrush and let's get that white on there. Like I said, it's going to be weird along the house right there, but we can paint it yellow. You know, there's no biggie. I do have a big chunk of it. I should tear it off. I'm kind of afraid. There's a chunk right there. That one's really hard, so we're just going to go with it. I'll mess with it. I'm not messing with the thing. But these dreams have been weird. It's been about Universal Studios. It's just weird. Very strange dreams. Okay, put that on. That's good. Put that right there. That's better. And then we're going to we have to make sure we get the side. So the side here is going to have to be glommed to attach to that. Everything on here is pure sugar. I haven't used any glue. I haven't used any outside items. I was tempted when things started to get weird with it. I was tempted to do what my mother would do and get the plaster in Paris and do it, but I decided not to. All right, that should do it. So let's see how it goes. Ew, all over my fingers. If you like messes, this is perfect. All over my fingers, all over my pinkies. My pinkies. Okay. Okay, let me get this on. And it looks like it's going to hold. That's what we want to see. Now, what would be hilarious is if I put the roof on and it's too big for the roof. That would be hilarious. Because we don't know until we're done. Till all this sets. There we go. So I can trim the yellow off a little bit on that side. So we're in. So let's make sure we're in where we need to be. And it looks like we're in. All right. So that's it right there for that. I'll turn it around for you guys. And let me see if I can do a little trim off this because it looks like there's an awful lot on there, which there is, because I really glommed it. I wanted to make sure it glued. Make sure it's attached. Didn't want any problems with it not attaching. So I'm going to lift some of this off of here, which I might be sorry for doing. I don't want any clumps on top either because that's where the roof is going to sit. There we go. Right? I don't want any clumps. You know what they say about the yellow snow? All right, close enough for camera work. I'm not worried about the house, like I said. As long as it's on there, we don't care. Okay, I'll show you what I did. And we're going to leave this alone. We're not touching it for the rest of the night. We're going to let it set. And here we go. So we got this corner done. This area here on the house. You guys can see it? See the back? And then it's coming around the front now. See, we got all that done. Look at that. Is that cool or what? There it is. There's the garage. So we got the garage up. So we are leaving this alone. We are leaving that alone. Okay, this is dry now, so would you guys like me to put another coat of paint on here? I have just enough to do another coat. Or you want to leave it that color and we can just continue on and put the millions of twinkling lights on there. In fact, was there snow on that part? Let's go look. See what the hell I'm doing. It's showing snow on the back. We can put the snow on afterwards. But what do you guys think? Should we leave it that color? Thank you. Should we leave it this color or should we go try and go one more coat? What do you think? Leave it that color or one more coat, you guys? What do you think? Color or coat? Leave it or quit while we're ahead or add a coat to it? Leave it? Okay, leave it? Okay, all right. Okay, we'll leave it. All right. I'm going to keep this up near me till I'm done. And what I'm going to do to make sure that nothing goes wrong at this point, because the last thing we want is for this damn thing to collapse. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to get one of these. See these right here? We're going to brace this. There we go. At least for a few minutes, we're going to brace it. Okay, let's put the millions of twinkly lights on this thing because we have to put the twinkly lights on it. One more coat. I got one more coat over here, and then I got leave it. Let me look at the color difference. There is a color difference. I got one more coat and leave it. No, don't make it. Don't make it heavier. Okay. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna go with TikTok on this one. Don't make it any heavier than we have to. I agree. I agree, TikTok. I agree 100% TikTok. Yeah, we don't want to make it any heavier than we have to. I tell you, that other house looked great. But we're gonna get to the other house. Now that house, I may do what my mother did and hit up with the plaster of Paris for that house that collapsed. I think that's what we're gonna end up doing over there. We're gonna make that sucker work. All right, let me find the yellow. There it is. I see it. Nope, where is it? For the 1,000 twinkly lights. Where did I put the yellow? I know it's here. Is it here? It's not there. Where is the squeezy thing for the yellow? For the 1,000 twinkly lights. Hang on, guys. I know it's here somewhere. So we got white. We got this. Nothing like being organized, huh? It's got to be here. I was using it the other day. Where'd you go? There's that. We got it right. Where'd you go? Oh, that's scary. I have to go get more twinkly lights. Oh, you know what? Did I seal it up? Maybe I sealed it up. Maybe it's got its own baggie. Hang on. Everything has a baggie here. Nope, not that. Where did I put you? I know you're here. So we can make the 1,000 twinkly lights. This is what's kind of collapsing right now. So we're going to leave that there. It's this fine. Okay, I know I have it. What happened to it? Oh, is that on the floor? Of course, it landed on the floor. Why wouldn't it? Sounded one back hurting. Here we go. Sounded one back hurting, you guys. Of course, you had to land on the floor. As my dad would say, thank you for falling. I appreciate it. And having to make me bend over with my bad back. Thank you so much. So my dad would say. All right, okay. I got to clean up in here too, man. It is. It looks like every holiday season since I've been in here working, doing this stuff, it's looked like it ends up like this. Because we're doing so many projects. I have a Millennium Falcon too, man. A nice big Revell model Millennium Falcon. I haven't touched yet either. Okay, here we go. Let's put some thousands of twinkling lights on, shall we? So what's looking okay? I think we got this. Now, if the roof doesn't line up, so we're doing thousands of twinkly lights right now. So if the roof doesn't line up in the end, we'll have to improvise. It should line up. In theory, it should line up. Let's make sure we have a hole here. That's already 3:45. Good Lord. Time flies when you're having fun, isn't it? Ah, there we go. All right, thousands of twinkly lights. Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. We gotta get lots of lights on here. 5, 6, 7. I'm not gonna count them. I'll be here forever. Nailing out those twinkly lights. 1,000 twinkle lights. I love a parade. It's a shame they're not running that Walgreens commercial anymore. With the guy that's supposed to be like Clark. And he goes down, he gets on that disc and goes flying off into Walgreens. I mean, that's pretty funny. Okay, guys, trying to collect 10. I'm trying to collect, what am I, 40? 40 high bears. Help me out with that. 10 cents each. So we're going to put the lights on here, and then we're going to let this thing dry. If we have time, I will switch over to look at Cousin Eddie's RV that we're going to make. Oh, we got some boogers. Got some frosting boogers. Frosting booger alert. But I hope tonight I can sleep without having those weird dreams. I don't know what it was. I usually don't have weird dreams. But I got to do laundry today. I got to get up early tomorrow for a doctor's appointment. Follow up to when I was dizzy, which I'm not dizzy now, so go figure. I have a brother-in-law who used to work at Safeway in the bakery. And then I used to be babysit by a family from Switzerland, and her husband worked in a bakery. Not like a big chain, not like a big chain bakery, but like town, like over here in the mall, a bakery in the mall. Used to get all kinds of goodies. That's why if anybody saw me do this, my sister's really good at this. I'm not. People are cringing right now because I have shaky hands. In fact, after I get done with here, I get to start my dinner and do laundry. Because I forgot about my laundry today. Okay. Let's head up over this way. See, we're putting, I'll show you. There's the thousands of twinkly lights. It's too bad they didn't have something that would like glitter, you know, as far as these lights went, which would have been a good touch. But they didn't, the kit. And then we ran out of the stuff to do the lights, so I ended up having to buy this. They never give you enough frosting. Ever. Don't make it too heavy. I'm still laughing at you guys. I'll take care of the boogers in a second here. At least with that RV, the good news is it doesn't look like it stands up or anything. So I think the RV is going to be a little easier to do. So then we got, after we're done with all this, we got that Christmas house to finish off. And then Valentine's Day comes. Last year we did a Valentine's house. We did a St. Patrick's Day house. And we did a Easter house. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about a 4th of July house maybe, you know. And my friends over at the Dollar Tree, where I live, they're very happy with all this. Because they like me to take pictures of this and stuff. Because normally, this is the only one I'm not doing it with, but normally on the other types of houses, I'm buying everything from Dollar Tree, you know, to put on them. So they like seeing their products on these gingerbread houses. So they'll post pictures of the gingerbread houses in the store, the ones we've done, to show that it was done with their products. And they've been selling gingerbread house kits, but they're small. If you have a young kid and you don't want to build anything big like this or anything like that, they do sell, at least the one by where I live, they do sell smaller gingerbread kits. So you don't have to go through that, and have a bunch of stuff. But I mean, they have thoroughly enjoyed me coming in and dropping off the photos of what I'm doing with their candy. Which is kind of fun. Everything takes time. Clark W. Griswold. Always wanted to put him on my roof. One year I think I had him on my roof, and then I'm not going to get him. My roof is old. But I think a friend of mine put him on the roof one year for me, like this. And it looked pretty cool. But I've only done it 1 year since I've been doing lights. Mine's mainly all my displays on the ground. And if I mean, that or the side, going up the sides of the house, the eaves. That's about all I'll do. Okay, we got thousands of twinkly lights on here. Remember when he turned them on, guys? He knocked the power out to all of Chicago. And the meter in word. My dad always said that about our meter. The second they turn the lights on, the meter just goes bzzz. But they let me do it. They let me do it at an early age. I was doing like lights at like 12, 13 years old, man. They actually put like receptacles out within the yard on the cement. And the problem was when they put them in, they put them in too low, and I can't use them anymore because water would flow into them. And even now, when it rains, and let's just say I don't use them, but they're on the circuit for my garage hookup, which I have to still hook up there. But when it rains, they get shorted out for like 3 days until they dry out. So that was a nice idea, but they should have been put up higher, and it wouldn't have been a problem. So that's okay though. I figured a way around it, so it doesn't like make my lights stay out forever like it used to, where I go weeks without Christmas lights. All right, we got this. So this has to dry. Show you guys. This has to dry now. And we're going to add some snow on here when it does dry. So it'll be more like the main roof. So it looks like this. There you go. See, we just added our thousands of twinkly lights on here. There you go. See? Thousands of twinkly lights. So it's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to move this over there and hope to God that it doesn't collapse when I move it. Because moving it, if I trip or something, it's game over. And we'll take a look at that trailer. We'll take a look at the trailer. And all that's left is, okay, here's what we have left. We're going to, if you guys want me to, we're going to have to do the lawn. We're going to have to do it in white. Cover up the screws. A couple places I got to add yellow. As far as the side, the cookie sides go. And then these tiny little Christmas light looking candy things have to go on. And that's going to be the end once that roof goes on. So we're pretty well, we're pretty much almost there. In fact, tomorrow we'll be putting the roof on, and then we're going to go ahead and start adding these candy, those lights that look like those Christmas lights of candy. We'll be adding those on. and then doing the touch-ups, and that's it. I mean, this is done, and then what we have to do is snow flock the front yard. That's why they wanted this thing on white, on the white cardboard, which makes sense. So we could add trees and stuff in the front yard. Snow flock trees. I have some bushes I have to add on the side of the house here. There's going to be some bushes in here, but that's not a bad deal. Those can be added. In fact, I could do the ones on the side today. You know what? Why don't we, before I close off today, because it's already coming to 4 o'clock, why don't we do that? Why don't I add the first bushes on the front? That's what we can do right there. I can do it right there. Let me grab them. I think we can do that today. I can do these. See these front bushes here on this side? I can add those. We'll have to wait on those, but I can add those. And what they did was, and I wondered why they had them. So what they did, they gave me 6 Christmas trees. Are they over here? Yeah. And I wondered what they had them for. And I thought, oh God, we're going to have to soften them up and all that. But what they did was these Christmas trees are the bushes. So cut them open. And there's 2 Christmas trees here that are cut in half. That's what they did. So we got 2 of these Christmas trees. We're going to cut them in half. Then we're going to glue them against the side. That we can do today. My poor scissors, after cutting the candy canes, they're not happy. So these, you can tell it's obvious they cut them in half. So there's 2 Christmas trees. Yeah, with the trunks down low. All right, so we're going to do the Christmas trees. So let's go ahead and put it on the front there, where they're supposed to be. And see if I can cut this. Question is, do I feel lucky? So these are in half. So this will be one set of bushes here. Hang on. Without crunching it down. Really? I knew it. Scissors. Like I said, these scissors have seen better days. They've been crunching. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Right there. They've been crunching candy canes for a week. It looks so much bigger, but maybe it should have been wider. It does look, needs to be a little bigger. Yeah, okay, so I should have uneven cut them. Okay. Okay. So let me think about this. I should have uneven cut them. What we can do, okay, and again, you're rolling your eyes because obviously I didn't cut them correctly. I didn't think they were that small. Oh, sorry, I have Vicks, and the Vicks is driving me nuts. So that's supposed to be right on the bottom of that edge, right? Let me see. Yeah, right on the edge. I think we got where we need to be with them. Let me see. The light here is awful. Yeah, they're right where they're supposed to be. So, okay. So what we're going to do, and then what they did was they cut. Trying to figure out how they did this. Oh, I see. They cut them so that they kind of merged together. So they took the end and I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. They took the trunk off like that. Because what they want to do is they want to merge them right there. All right, let's get the white out. Let's do it. Where'd it go? There's the trunk. Okay. Because they want to merge it. Okay, that way you can put them together. All right. So we'll get the white out. And this is white out. No, we're not using white out. You know what I mean. Okay, so we'll get this white. We'll mount these things. Okay. So they're going to go this way. Christmas vacation. They're going to go this way. So I'll show you. Again, it snowed. We don't care. It snowed. It is what it is. Okay. Yeah, that's right where it should be. Okay, let me do the other one. Remember when the SWAT team comes? Okay. Hang on, guys. We're coming. Let me get this on there so I can mount them. I can do a little bit of that work for today. Because, like I said, we're coming up to the end on this, and it's getting there. Okay. Christmas vacation. Make it flat against there. There we go. So that's not too bad. Maybe it should have been higher, but okay. There it is. Yeah. See, we have bush. Terrible to say. We have bush. Should have gone a little farther, but that's okay. We'll move it out. I'll even it out here. There we go, and then we'll pull it over a little bit here on the end. Even it out. We have bush. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I'll show you the bushes on the house, which we just did. All right, let me take this off. I can show you. Take my bracers off. Then I'll let this sit here until I come in here at 6 to prep for tonight's show. So we got bushes. I can see what I'm doing now here. We do have bushes. Make sure they're together. There. All right, so here's the bushes for the front of the house, as per the instructions. So there we go. We have bushes for the front. See it? There they are right there. Just like the picture. See the bushes in the front. So we got those in. Yeah, so we're good. All right, well, you know what? I'm not going to open up the other one. I think we're ahead today. And tomorrow I'll be back. Same time as today. And we'll continue because we're getting closer and closer to wrapping it up. So let it all dry. And I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not moving this until I come back in here at 6. So it's going to be pretty well set when I move it. And then tomorrow we'll come in here and we'll do the touch up, on the yellow, and we'll do the wrap up on the roof. Hopefully the roof fits so we don't have any problems with it, because that would really not make me happy. After all this work to not have the roof work. And it fits. You guys want to see what it looks like? Hot diggity dog. There we go, everybody. There's what it's going to look like with the roof on there. On the front. Look at that. The roof fits. See that? The roof fits. So that's what it's going to look like once the roof is on officially. It should be locked into this corner more. Again, there's going to have to be filler because there's spotted between there, so we're going to have to fill it. But again, that's because of the dots being on there. So there you have it. So it is going to fit. Everything's going to fit like it's supposed to. And then the other side will go on. Nice, huh? Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. So yeah, we'll fill it with some white frosting in there and do a paint up on it. Make sure it's on straight. Okay. So everything's fitting like it's supposed to. Okay, guys. Well, I gotta go make some dinner. I'm gonna make my dinner and get my rest before I do my 6:45 show tonight. So I will be back 6:45 p.m. on TikTok to do my tarot card reading tonight. So you're welcome to come in. If you have a TikTok account, come on down. It's under California Haunts, and you'll see us pop up. Come join us. It's a fun bunch. We have a good time. We have a really good time when we do the show. I make it really fun, and it's not like any psychic show you've probably ever seen anywhere else. I'm not like any psychic you've seen. I've got OCD, so that plays very strongly into how I do the show. And so come on down, come join us, and we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. And when I talk about those little lights, here's what I'm talking about. These are little candy lights. They look like Christmas lights. See them? That's what we're going to be putting on there. when we get to that point. So it looks like tomorrow may be the final day on this. Maybe. So like I said, come on down, come join us, and we'll have a good time tonight. So come on down to TikTok if you have a TikTok account. Come join us for Tarot with a Twist. I call it Tarot with a Twist. Okay, Tarot with a Twist, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Okay. So I'll see you guys. Like I said, this is my rest time before I get on there. It takes a lot out of me to do the shows. The readings take a lot out of me. So that's why I like to eat and take a nap and then come on in and do the shows. All right, everybody. So thank you so much, and we'll do a little touch up on here on the sides. Like here we need touch up. So we'll texture that up and do some touch up over there. I can see places where my OCD is going to kick in and I have to do touch up or I'm going to lose my mind. So thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, same time, right between 2:30 and 3 o'clock Pacific, and we'll get this roof on and start working on the last phases of this house. All right. Okay, guys. See you later over here on TikTok. Thanks for coming, everybody. Or not. TikTok wants to stay on. Okay. 6:45 p.m. everybody. There we go. Okay. We're good. 262. Okay. Nice. Okay. I'll see you guys over here tomorrow. I'll see you guys at between 2:30 and 3 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll do some more work on this project. And yeah, we should be close. I mean, if we're not finished tomorrow, then it'll be like a real short day on Wednesday doing this. But we're there. You know, we are there with it, and look at that. That's already set. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited if you are. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.